What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another video today. You know, Konami has a massive problem, and it's actually more evident to anyone that was at YCS Richmond, Virginia. And I mean like a massive problem. You see, with Yu-Gi-Oh!, Konami needs to get newer players into the game. It's how you sustain a game. Well, in order to get newer players, you ideally want to get younger players. And Konami released Dragon Duels for younger players. They said, hey, listen, this is a great way to get younger players in. They'll have their own, it'll be their own premiere event. They'll be able to go to regionals. They'll get a ton of extra stuff because they get actually more prize support than regular people that attain an event. The regular regionals, and they'll be able to play at World Championship Qualifier, their own version of NAWCQ for Dragon Duel players. Every year since the release of Dragon Duel, the amount of players attending these events have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. YCS Richmond is no different. This is a picture I took of the parent area at YCS Richmond. That's right there, the parent area. It is atrocious. As a father of 5, if I'm sitting all day long in a parent area, by the way, which is right near the door, right near the open door, and we'll talk about that and why that's so terrible in a second, but right near the front door, it has a little thing around it. There's nothing else. You just go and you sit there for about anywhere from 8 to about 12 hours as a parent if your child's attending the Yu-Gi-Oh! Event, whether it's the main event or the Dragon Duel event at the YCS. It is absolutely insulting how pathetic that looks. If you guys ever attended like a Pokemon event, you understand their parent lounge is better than Konami's parent area. They just do a little billboard up there with some tables, and they were like, yeah, that's more than enough. Not only that, for any parent actually at this event going, since you're at the front door, you'll be able to walk out and get some fresh air. Well, you might have a huge issue with that because these are the doors you walk out of. And once you walk out of that, there's people watching. You have to walk all the way around the building. Now, this isn't Konami's issue. This is Konami's fault. More than likely, this is the exhibit doing this. But why even let this happen? Like, why come back if they're gonna do this goofy shit? Like, why? There's no fire hazard. There's almost no one attending, and they're watching. By the way, if you walk in, they'll tell you, get out, go all the way around. Why? Once again, this is not even a fire hazard, but if they're gonna use that excuse, it's a really dog shit one. So parents at the event in their small little parent area, which is right in the front, by the way, have to now walk all the way around. It's just Konami has nothing planned for the parents that bring their children to these events. Once again, if you're a company, your goal, if you're a drug dealer, you want to sell to younger and to get them hooked for longer so you make the max amount of profit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a drug. So you would think Konami would go and go, hey, listen, this is a good idea. To actually help the parents out, give incentivization. Give them water, Konami. Something besides 2 tables. This is how bad the parent area, the parent situation, Dragon Duels, younger players in this game, it's become. This is for all the parents at this event. Absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, I sat on these tables. Nobody said nothing to me. I saw players sitting in these tables all day long. Nobody said nothing to them. Anyone could have sat in those tables. All you had to do is just go behind that little plastic. You pop it up and you go right behind there. Yeah, you can sit right there all day long. No big deal. Seriously. I actually sat there and waited and looked around, and nobody said nothing. Once again, I just think that this is a really huge missed opportunity by Konami. You obviously have a huge issue, and that's getting younger players into play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Some might argue, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very complicated card game. And you're right, it is complicated. But how do you explain the fact that we used to have a lot more Dragon Duels players, and now we have a tiny little bit to the point where this wasn't filled up? It makes no sense. This brings me down to my next issue. Once again, this is in the front of the venue. So you smell everything everyone is smoking outside. I actually made a post on my community tab. I said Konami needs to step up their shit. It stinks like weed outside and inside the venue. Realistically, people smoking weed outside, they go inside, the whole front, like quarter size of the venue, stunk like weed. It smelled, I smoked cigarettes, and I couldn't smell cigarette smoke the minute I went inside. I smoked weed all over the place, constantly. How the fuck are we expecting to get younger players into this game when it stinks like shit everywhere? That's the truth. Listen, I don't mind people smoking weed. I don't mind people smoking cigarettes. But why is that why would you put that in the front where everyone could be? Number one. Number two, why would you put the parent area in the front? So now if you're a parent with your child getting ready for Yu-Gi-Oh! Event, after every round, your kid's coming to you, and then you got weed smell everywhere. Like, it's not fair to the parents. It's absolutely really fucked up. Side note, I think it should be legalized, but like how it's done with alcohol, meaning that if you can smoke weed, please don't smoke it in front of everybody. It stinks worse than cigarettes, and it has a bigger reach than cigarettes. Smoke that shit in your house, not every fucking round at the YCS. And I'm positive, I'm telling you, at the YCS this past weekend, every round people were going outside and smoking that. It stunk. Okay? And I'm not blaming the players who will get really defensive. And people on weed, like, this is how... The problem with people on weed, that people that love weed, because I'm like, whatever about it. But the problem with people that love weed, everyone would be on your side if you just shut the fuck up about how much you love weed. They're like, oh, it's natural. It grows in the ground, so I should smoke it. Bro, cyanide grows. Like, what are you talking about? Lava. There's the lava right there. Why don't you go smoke that? Like, don't cut that goofy shit out. Like, just say, hey, man, it's, I really wish I could smoke it, and it's really fucked up in certain areas I can't, so, But I just think, like, because it stinks so badly, why are we allowing this to happen? And once again, it's good for the older players. I'm pretty sure no older player would really have an issue with it. But me, as a parent, thinking parent-minded, thinking, how can I grow this fucking game? I need to get more players in this game. If I was to work at Konami, I would go, we need to do something because the parent area it's embarrassing. It smells like ass over there. Besides the normal amount of smell of ass in the place, at the event. People are smoking weed outside. At least go in and say, hey, listen, guys, can you smoke it over there? And even then, people are going to walk around with that weed smell on them, and people sit down. It's all over the place. I got to deal enough with smelly-ass players. Why do I have to deal with dudes stinking like weed? Like, how is that fair? And you might go, wait a minute, V, but you smoke cigarettes. Sure, but it's not near as bad as the weed smell, number one. Number two, you have a weed pen. I vape. I would rather vape and not smoke cigarettes at an event and just as much as people could use their weed vape and not fucking smoke weed. That way, the younger players, which Konami, not me and you, the older players, but Konami really should be focused on to grow the game, they should focus on that. And by the way, this was the exit right over here. You got out of here, okay? It was packed with people smoking weed. I mean, like, packed. This door, it's right inside there is the entrance. You make a left, that's the parent area. And trust me, I sat down, I smelled it clear as day. And if I smell it, any legit parent that brought their child to this event definitely smelled it. And I'm telling you right now, they don't want to deal with that shit. And they shouldn't have to. But Konami just doesn't have the balls to really say anything. They don't have the know-how to make the parent area people happy. The parents. And as well as people that smoke weed. Because I'm not saying people shouldn't smoke weed, but, bro, you gotta get it sorted, Konami. Listen, marijuana is legal in the state of Virginia. Okay, people can smoke it. I'm not saying, you shouldn't smoke marijuana. All I'm trying to say was, if you're going to a Yu-Gi-Oh event and you're smoking that shit, you're going to get on you, and you're going to smell. We have a rule for smelly players, but evidently that rule was overlooked. Maybe it only has to do with BO, but to me, marijuana has a stink that smells really bad, but I gotta deal with it. But BO, that's when we'll do something about it, right, Konami? Like, don't make some bullshit body odor rule that you're never gonna enforce, because it's never been enforced. And then have people smoking marijuana at your events, think of it and walk around the entire venue. We got kids there, dude. Come on. Once again, I don't mind that it's legal, that's cool, do your thing, but get sorted, everybody. It's embarrassing. This game, like I said, has a massive problem with younger players, and it needs to solve that issue. It's not my job as a player, as a parent. It's not. But I have 5 kids. If you think I'm bringing my 5 kids into this fucking game, you are out of your You're as high as those kids this past weekend at the YCS. Dead serious. I am not bringing my children to a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh event where people are smoking weed all over the place. As a parent, I'm not having that. Once again, I don't mind that they smoke weed. That's their right. But Konami just lets it happen. Lets it go everywhere. Yeah, I don't want that on my children as a parent. And I guarantee you, as a parent, someone walked in, saw this goofy ass setup, and was like, "This is fucking horseshit. Kid, play for a while. Let's get the fuck out of here. I'll buy you ice cream. I'll buy you a box of Yu-Gi cards. Let's go." I know that's what I would do. I would have my kid play for a little bit, have some fun, and I'll tell you what, I'll take you somewhere else where people aren't smoking weed, where the parent area isn't right in front of it, where and listen, I didn't even talk about the main problem besides the weed problem, which is already a huge problem. The problem of side events not firing off because judges have to do 20 tables because the side event structure is all fucked up, because the judge program is all fucked up. That's a totally different video, by the way, but that's a huge issue as well. My main point in this video is, if Konami wants to grow their game by getting younger players in, they're doing the complete opposite. This is almost an insult to sit here as a parent while people are smoking weed in and out. Like, it's an insult to go here as a parent and sit down and do nothing. You don't give any incentivization for parents to come to your events other than to let the kids play cards for a little bit. They can do the same at locals. They have no reason to drive X amount of hours to go to a YCS. It's an insult at this point because Konami has zero idea how to run it. And I guarantee you, a majority of people at Konami don't have kids. Because if you fucking had kids, you know to run that shit properly. Because you don't have kids, because the majority of people that work at Konami are fucking boomers, young little kids themselves. If you don't have kids, then you have zero idea what the fuck you're doing. And the people that in Konami that has kids, hey, bring them to a YCS event. You got a great kid over here. Come on down, bring them over there, hang out, and let me know how you fucking like it. It's disgusting. It's absolutely insulting. And then other companies like Pokemon are doing the opposite. They're actually increasing cash value price support for their players. I'm going to have my kids play Pokemon. And let's do a little bit of math real quickly, okay? 1 Pokemon locals a week. Me as a father, that's 1. Plus, well, my 5 kids, so that's 6 because I'm going to play. My kids are going to play. 6 times 5 is $30 a week I'll spend for my kids to play at Pokemon locals. Okay? Sneak previews, it costs roughly around $20, $25. We'll say 20. 2096 is $120. I'll spend that for me and my kids to play at Pokemon. That money could easily go to Yu-Gi-Oh! But why? What's the incentivization? Exactly, there is none. There's absolutely zero. A 12-year-old Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, a 13-year-old Yu-Gi-Oh! Player has to play against me, okay, goddamn 40-year-old, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player playing fucking Rescue Ace. Like, how is this working out? Pokemon has it in tiers. So even if that kid got fucked up by everybody, if he's the only kid in his tier that entered the event, he gets first place pricing for his tier. That's it. It's that simple. There's multiple tiers for age limits in Pokemon, as well as pricing. So once again, if you have an event that kids can win huge prizes and people in a lower age bracket, they get all the prizes even if they get fucked up the entire day. As a parent, that's amazing. Not only that, but to see that the fact that Pokemon said, you know what, we want to give you guys more money, we want to give you guys more prize support because we want to give more to the community. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! Listen, Yu-Gi-Oh's charging more for these YCS events. Don't act like we don't know what you're doing, Konami. You increase the price of these fucking events. These events did not cost damn near whatever the fuck you're charging, okay? This would be $20, that's it. And now they're charging more. More for events, more for sealed product, more for everything. Everything's more. But what are we getting extra? Nothing. The judge program is literally minimum wage plus eBayable items. And then you wonder why the judges are just fucking running around with their heads chopped off at Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. Side events aren't even firing off, but somehow you expect me to win 200 fucking tickets throughout the weekend? Bro, the only way you're gonna win 200 tickets at a Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS event, okay, if you came with 7 other kids and you shotgun around fucking speed duels. That's the only way you're getting 200 tickets, okay? That's it. You right now watching this video, seriously, if you went to a YCS specifically to do side events, how many tickets can you earn? Can you earn 200? Because that's what it costs to get one of those uncut sheets. Can you earn 200? Fuck no, dude. The amount of how long it's going to take to get that side event fired off is insane. I waited an hour and a half for my side event to fire off after it filled. Because the judges were running around. I'm not blaming the judges. I'm blaming the setup. Because Konami doesn't have anything done in place. This is all on Konami. This is all on them. Once again, even more reason as a parent for me not to take my kid to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. Number 1. Number 2, as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, why would I play in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event in this? I'd rather do remote duels. Remote duels are infinitely better. I personally like Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote duel YCS events or extravaganzas. I think they're infinitely better for side events than physically going to actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Events and setting by a blue banner for an hour and a half to play a side event. And then lose, let's say round 2 or 3, whatever, and then go over, win it, and then go over and sign up again and wait another hour and a half. It's physically impossible to get 200 tickets. You seriously have to not only beat everybody, but start going to them and buying the tickets, which people do. So, Konami, whenever you're selling that 200 ticket little fucking uncut sheet thing, you should literally say, just give me this X amount of money, because it's rigged, bro. It's rigged, you know it, we all know it. No one can do it solo. It's impossible. And that's because your system is dog shit in place as far as the judge program, having judges do like 8 events at one time. Just throwing it out there. I'm not saying there are bad judges. There's definitely bad judges at these events. I'm not saying that. They're definitely dog shit judges. But with that said, looking at the duality of the situation, these judges are overworked. They're tired. they're just getting eBayables minimum wage. That's it. Like people at McDonald's are making more than the Yu-Gi-Oh judges at these events. Like it's silly, but they're getting shit to go selling online in order to make some real money at these events. And to be honest with you, you ain't catching me doing any of that judge shit. Fuck out of here. I might get to level 2 judge for the lulz of it, but I mean that's really it. I'm not doing this shit because that shit is fucked up. So, once again, guys, that's my take on the YCS Richmond, Virginia. I thought, besides everything I said, it was a decent event overall. It just has a lot of issues. Number one, Konami having no way to grow the player base, which, to me, if you have no way to keep growing, you only descend even worse. And you have to do stupid shit like make another reprint set. And then the next year, another reprint set. And then charge even more for the Megatons, for all your packs, for all your events, for all your side events. You gotta start charging more to make up that money that you're losing because you're hemorrhaging it because you don't understand that if you don't get new players into your game, you're not going to make money. It's gonna get to the point where a fucking pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards is gonna cost the price of a box because Konami's gonna do whatever they can do to make money because they're losing it left and right because they don't know what they're doing as far as like running this events properly. They care more about these stupid ass rules for gender pronouns than actually focusing on what's important. Fixing the game, making it better for everybody. For the younger players, for the older players, for everyone universally, period. Not particularly based off of gender, not particularly based off an identity, particularly based off a person in the game within their age group. Anyway, Paisano, I really appreciate you guys for my videos. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the YCS event. And if you ever attended an event, please comment down below. Let me know your experience for it. Your boy V, you guys also have a great day.